Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is here in Belleville, Ontario. Yes, you heard that correctly. Belleville, Ontario. Bet you're wondering, what is the Peterborough Carping Guide doing in Belleville? What is this blasphemy? Well, I've been doing some moving. I've moved myself closer to the Quinte West region. And as a result of that, I kind of looked at the Bay of Quinte and went, be rude not to, wouldn't it? You know, have to give it a go. So I'm here in Belleville today, fishing the waterfront, and you may hear the odd splash behind me here, and that's actually quite ironically the last of the carp getting through their spawn. I know this because there are fish actually feeding on my bait pile right now, right in front of me. Today we're going to be doing some margin fishing. I'm at a little local pond. Beside me here, the turtle pond where these fish are actually spawning in is completely out of bounds, but right in front of me here is not out of bounds, and I'm fishing towards the lakefront. I'm going to go over the rig really quickly for you. So, a popped up German rig here with a Scopex cream dumbbell boilie, and that's to a drop lead system. I do have a lot of weeds just out towards the waterfront here, and it goes for quite some time. So if I get a fish in there, obviously I want to get that lead off as quickly as I can, and hopefully I can drag the fish over top of the weed line. When these leads tend to fall off, that's what happens, the fish pops up in the water. So, we're going to get this rig in the water, and hopefully I can get into one or two fish. Only got a couple hours, so I'm going to make the best of it. So let's get at it. Well, it didn't really take long. Was not anticipating the action to be this quick, but got one. He's pulled right into that weed bed. As you can clearly see from all the lovely salad on my line. Yes, yes, yes. Right back into it. As you can see, I'm not using necessarily a very large rod today. I'm using an 8-foot margin rod here. The Streamside Predator 8-foot. Excellent rod, parabolic action. It really helps when you're fishing underneath rod tips like this. Playing too stiff in a situation like this, you'd most certainly have the rod hook pull the fish on you. Leads run right up so far. Let's see if I can get access to that right. Pull that down the weeds and completely choked it out. There we go. It's not always pretty, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, it's a lovely little. All right, let's get this wood up on the mat and we can have a look at it. Well, honestly, I didn't even expect it to go off quite like that. Not a monstrous fish here by any proportions, but oh. First fish of the session, get you back on that mat. A little lively one too, I might add. Holy moly. completely covered. Completely covered in coleslaw, and just a little, whoa! Wow! Get over here. Unbelievable. We'll get this one back really quick, folks, but here's a nice, dark little common. Lovely way to start it out. Single digits, but in the high single digits. What a beautiful fish. Look how dark he is. Wow. And absolutely mint. Let's get it back. Now that we've got that first fish out of the way, we can begin to talk about tactic, because obviously it has been effective at least once. As you can see, first and foremost, I do have a very slack line. Now, the reason being is, as I mentioned before, I'm margin fishing. I'm fishing very close to the shore, and I'm trying to give those fish as much confidence in feeding tight to the margin like this. And the best way I know how to do that is to give them tons of room to move around. If you have a nice tight line, like you would if you were distance fishing, you would end up spooking these fish 9 times out of 10. So providing a nice loosened off line, you've got a semi-fixed bolt rig out there, you know, you're not going to miss a bite. When they are on, they are most certainly on. The second thing is you're going to notice, running all the way down the blank, that's right, no bite alarm. Now, that may feel very archaic to some of you, but I find when you're margin fishing, you want to keep it as quiet as possible. If you provide too many spooking factors, all you're going to do is scare the fish off. You may get that first one, you might even get that second one, but I'm certainly going to tell you right now, you will not get the third and the fourth. Run through really quickly what I'm doing here in terms of baiting. So pre-baiting last night, I brought some of this out, and this is a Quick Oats and Rice Puffs mix. I've added in some spices. This is chili as well as some pineapple juice, so it's got a bit of a spicy and sweet smell to it, and this has been very effective for me. What I really like about Method Mix is that I'm providing a great deal of attraction without providing them too many free offerings. This bait, obviously, I could ball up and put around my lead, like so, or I can just simply enter it in as a light particle, a little dusting over top of the line every so often. And like I said before, it provides a lot of attraction without providing a great deal of free offerings. And it's very light, so as the fish swim by, they blow it up into the water column once again, resuspend it, and they're constantly spreading out the bait for me. And it will just continue to bring more and more fish in as that scent is washed up once again and is refiltered back into the system. Got ourselves another little feisty one here. More fish have now finally moved back onto the bait pile, which is nice. I think this one's just about ready to net. Oh, where you going? Oh. Get back here, you. carp is they just don't give up. There we go. Oh, holy. Beautiful. Well, once again, it's not an apple monster. There are a couple of bigger fish in here, but there seems to be a lot of low doubles and some singles in here as well. But a fish is a fish. Let's get a look at him then. Well, things are kicking off quite nicely here. Have myself, calm down you, another little single-digit park coming. Perhaps he likes this side more. There we go. Another little lovely fish. Fell once again to the Scopex Cream dumbbell boilie. And another absolutely mint fish. I can't ask for a much better morning. It is absolutely beautiful out here. The temperatures haven't quite got that hot yet. And the fish are biting. So we'll get this one back. We'll get that rig back in the water. And hopefully we can have a few more. There's a couple of big ones swimming around. I just caught a glimpse of one that looked like it could have been mid-high doubles, even low 20s. So we'll stick around and we'll see how she goes. Went for quite a little tour there. Took me straight out around the rock face here, but I think we're on the winning end of this. And here we go. Well, unfortunately, it's not one of the big ones, but fortunately, it is another carp on the mat. Another little high single here, under 10 pounds, but honestly an incredible fight. This one took me right around the outside of that rock face, and things got a little hairy there for a second or two. But once again, another absolutely mint fish, and we'll get this one back, and hopefully we'll have one or two more to grace us. Wind is really starting to whip up out here, and it's getting close to lunchtime. I'm starting to get a little bit peckish, and the fish are no longer peckish. So I think this is probably an appropriate time for me to end this video. Got to get going to work here shortly, but I hope that it was informative for you. I hope that I gave you a few good tips and tricks on how to take a few carp out of the margins. One of the big things that I'm going to say right now is just because you don't always see them there doesn't mean they're not going to be there. It doesn't mean they're not going to have some interest in showing up in the margins at some given point any time of the day. It could be as hot as hell out here, and I'm telling you, it could be 30 degrees. You will still see carp in the margins. It's because that's where their food is, right? Along the weed lines, along the margins, that's where they find all of their food. So to think that a carp is going to go really deep and it's going to hide all the time, yeah, maybe some will. And maybe they'll do that for a period of time, but they will eventually come out. And when they come out, you know, if you have a rig ready for them, you know, you might be able to get them. You can't catch carp sitting on the couch, you know, so get out there nice and early, you know, get out right as the sun's rising, you you'll find them in the margins. Maybe get out just as the sun's setting, you'll find them in the margins too. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And until next time, tight lines.